Hey guys, Nikki here, and today I'm going to show you a simple sequence that you can do kind of for whole body mobility and just kind of get things moving. Probably add a little bit of core stability with that too, using a Pilates ball or a slow-mo, so stay tuned. All right, so we're going to get right into it. Before we even use the slow-mo, I'm going to have us start just on our back with a little shoulder and spinal mobility exercise. So you're going to lie down on your back. If it's more comfortable for your neck, you can always pop a little towel or a pillow underneath your head. And actually, I'm going to move the ball to the other side of me so it doesn't block your view. You're just going to have knees bent, feet flat. So there's maybe a little bit of a choreography moment here, but it's not too bad. I want you to start by just sliding your left arm overhead. And as you do that, you're going to spin your palm to face up towards the ceiling. So your right palm is facing down by your side. And then as you switch, you're just going to casually rotate the left palm down and rotate the right palm up. So the arm going overhead always has palm up. You're just going to keep that going. And the arm going down by your side always has palm down. And what you'll start to feel is there's this little bit of shoulder motion that happens from doing that. And let it. So if that is enough thinking for you today, you can stay with this. If you're doing all right, I want you to start to add a little bit of a head turn. So you're going to let your head start to turn towards the arm that you're moving. And let it rotate the other way. And just start to notice now how that starts to involve more of your spine. It's really passive. And then we can add in the legs. So you're just going to drop the knees one way and then the other. And if you want to be a little bit more reciprocal, you can actually let your head turn away from your knees. So there's a lot of different choices with this one. And what you'll start to feel is just kind of this whole body movement that gets to happen. You'll also notice where things don't maybe move quite as well as they could. And you'll come back to the center. Then from here, I would like you to grab your ball. And then once you've got it, I want you to gently lift your hips and pull the ball underneath your pelvis. So you should feel like the ball is supporting the hips. It's not so high that it's going to be underneath your low back, and it's not so low that it's rolling out from under you. We're going to go do a little bit of just pelvic curling. So you'll take an easy breath in here. Exhale, gently roll your pelvis under. The ball will actually facilitate that little bit of rolling. And then as you inhale, you're going to let your pubic bone reach for your feet just until your tailbone lands just level on the ball. And just go back and forth with those two. And what you're seeing if you can do is or what you're trying to do is you're seeing if you can move your pelvis without shifting in the ribs. So I'm going to do a couple ugly ones. So you don't want to be going really curled or really lifted in the rib cage. So the ribs stay kind of heavy. You're just going to go back and forth. And you may or may not feel a little core activation, but it kind of happens automatically. And then for today, let's bias and do a small curl. So I want you to go slightly pubic bone to ribs. So you find those deep abdominals. Hands can come into the ground for support. You're going to take a breath in. Exhale, take one leg up. And then take the second leg up here. And then I want you to keep this little scoop of pubic bone to ribs. And I want you to go take this into a toe tap. Where you kind of inhale, float the leg down. Exhale to pull it up. Neck and shoulders are easy. And I'm going to do, again, an ugly one. What you're trying to minimize is, again, that tipping of the rib cage. So a little bit of pubic bone to ribs to do this. Good. And we'll go one more. I cued breath, but honestly, as long as you're breathing, I'm not too concerned about when and how you breathe. Great. And then slowly put one foot down and then put the other foot down. Then you can carefully lift your hips up, move the ball out from under you. From here, I want you to kind of move the ball down so it goes underneath your feet. And we're going to do a little bit of a hip release exercise here. So I want you to, again, think a little bit of the ribs heavy, maybe a slight pubic bone to ribs if you tend to lose your core easily or have low back stuff. And I want you to start by gently opening up the knees. You're going to push the ball out. There's a little bit of control on that thing because it's kind of small and wobbly. And you're going to pull it back in. So you're just kind of doing a full, easy hip circle here. And I've got my hands on my ribs because I tend to be a rib flarer. I tend to lift them off. So I'm trying to give myself just a little reminder that my ribs could stay heavy. And let's just go a few the other way. So you're going to slide the ball out, rotate the knees open, and then pull it in. And so this gives you some core control. It also gives you some hip freedom, which is really, really nice. We tend to be kind of glued through this spot. Let's go one more time. And then bring it all the way in. All right, one more thing while we're here, and then we're going to do one last exercise on our stomach. I want you to put the ball underneath one foot, and I kind of tend to start at my toes. And I'm going to show this to you in levels. So this is another deep core exercise. It also gives you some of that nice hip glide. Base level is just 1 foot on the ground, 1 foot on the ball. Send the ball out, inhale, and then exhale, use your core to pull that ball back in. So you can stay with this the entire time. If everything is feeling good, level 2 would be to float the leg up in tabletop. And now what you'll feel is it's harder to hold your hips level as you move the ball. And then level 3 and or 4 is arms up towards the ceiling. Or if you really want to challenge your core control, you can really get into that sling system by reaching the arms overhead. You'll feel a little bit of an upward glide, but your shoulders are definitely connected into your back gently. And now you're really keeping those ribs down. And from this position, you should really start to feel how your abdominals have to engage to support the entirety of your spine as you move the leg. Great. Then you can pull it in, and let's switch sides. So again, you probably discovered there was one level you liked. On this side, you can go into whichever level you prefer. So I tend to do 6 to 8 of these when I'm on my own. So option A, slide the ball in and out. Again, inhale to slide the ball. Exhale to pull it in, finding your deep core. Option B, a little bit more instability. That leg goes into tabletop. On this side, I'm not as stable, so I feel my back tipping a little bit more than would be ideal, so I'm going to try to really focus on that. And then option C, again, you can go arms up to the ceiling or arms overhead. But again, I can, even though I'm not pulling my shoulders down my back, I can feel how my shoulders are connected into my back. Find your core, sink those ribs, and try it here. And you really should start to feel how your core is not just these muscles on the front of your abdominal wall. It's really this whole body engagement that has to happen to create that spinal support. Good. Let's go maybe one more for fun. And then bring it all the way in. Put your arms down. Put your feet down. Good. Final thing, grab that ball. We're going to do a little bit of work for extension. So you're going to come onto your stomach, and you're going to put the ball kind of right underneath your sternum here. And you're just going to let your arms come down by your sides. So I've got the ball kind of underneath the middle of my chest. Sometimes I have to fuss a little bit with it. And you can just start by kind of breathing in and out here. And you might find actually your sternum is kind of a little bit tight or sore. If it's too uncomfortable, definitely come out of this. But we're just starting to create a little bit of release in the front of this chest where we get a little bit glued. You can go one more like that. And we're going to add a little bit of movement. And I think for today, I'm going to play with a slightly different arm position. So I want you to actually plant your hands roughly where your shoulders are. And I want you to take your legs a little bit wide and a little bit externally rotated. And you're going to gently kind of screw your hands in. So you screw into the pinky side. That'll pull your elbows in. It'll kind of slide your shoulders down your back. And I'm not pushing from my arms, but I am kind of facilitating a shoulder action there gently. So I want you to think about, even though your hands aren't moving, like you're going to slide your hands down towards your feet. And as you do that, I want you to start to lift your chest up. Hair is in the way. And then just slowly come back down. Good. So I've got a slight tuck of the pelvis, pubic bone towards the floor. Little bit of a pull down on the hands, and you're just going to kind of shine the breastbone forward. Kind of like you're trying to roll the ball outward, I guess it would be. And then coming down. Let's go one more time. Gently screw the arms in. Gently slide the shoulders down the back. Little baby tug. Coming into your extension. And then coming all the way down to rest.